there, this is Colby Peters. I'm creating a work in watercolor based on Holly Chastain's collage. This is part 3, where I show you how I paint the ship. In the last video, I finished painting the waves that are bursting out of the shell, and this is what we'll have at the end of this video. I honestly was not expecting this series to have so many parts, but as with many projects that I do, they tend to expand after I start them as I think of ways to improve the process, try something new, or add a piece that I think will make the final product better. I'm starting with a medium brown color to do the body of the ship. We're going to speed this up a bit for you so we can finish this video in a reasonable amount of time. Here I decide to add some darker brown to the corners and edges of the ship to add a little dimension. Let's add a few windows so the people down below can see the ocean. Now for the sails. First, I'm going to do a cream wash, and then I will use a wet-on-wet technique for the shading. Once I get a little pigment on, I use lots of water to spread it out to get the cream color I'm going for. After the whole sail is covered, I use a paper towel to dry my brush and grab excess water and pigment from the sail. Right now, I want it to have just enough color so you can see it against the white of the paper. I'll go back later with more pigment to do the shading. Here, I'm using a wet on wet technique to add more pigment for shading. I also want to make the sails look a little stained and dirty, like the ship has been sailing a lot. Last thing to paint is the tiny flags up top. I choose a reddish pink color. So as I've been painting, I've been thinking through the problem of the rigging or the ropes on the ship. I need to cut the ship out, and the ropes are of course too fine to cut out. I think about cutting the ship out and then painting the ropes on, but I think I might lose my mind trying to get a line fine enough and straight enough to make it look good. I think about drawing them on, but I'm not sure black ink would look right for ropes. Finally, I come up with the idea of using sewing thread. You'll see how I do that in the next video. Last thing we're going to do in this video is paste the ship onto the paper with the Nautilus shell painting. Once I decide where I want it, I use some stick glue I found in my son's school supplies bag. There's probably a better product out there for this sort of thing, but stick glue works. The last thing I'm going to do is put something heavy on top of the ship to keep the paper from lifting or curling while it dries. I also slide a piece of paper in between to protect the ship and book. In part 4, I'm going to show you how I use sewing thread to make the ropes on the ship, and I make a few other adjustments to the painting before I call it completely finished. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave comments or feedback and subscribe if you'd like to know when the next video comes out.